Happy Thanksgiving, happy engineer. It is Thanksgiving week as this episode releases here in the United States. For those of you around the world and here in the US who celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you are taking time off from work and ready to enjoy some relaxation and some great food with friends and family and really getting into the spirit of Thanksgiving. In that spirit, we're going to talk today about gratitude engineering. Gratitude engineering. Let's unpack some of the science and the practical reasons that a gratitude practice could change your life and your career. And not just from the woo-woo spiritual side, but from a really practical engineering side of how this can help you today. I actually was in a conversation with an engineering director named Nick recently. And Nick is an incredibly intelligent individual. He's leading big software teams. And we were in a one-on-one talking about a huge problem that he was facing in his career, a big problem. And I won't tell you the details, it's confidential, but let's just say he had not faced anything like this before. And he was overwhelmed. He was frustrated, even a bit angry about what had happened. And he couldn't see a way forward. And I was asking Nick, what are your options? What are the paths that you see for how we can move forward? And the truth that Nick shared in that moment is that he had no idea. He felt completely stuck. Have you ever been there? In those moments where you just can't see a way out or a way through. You feel completely stuck. Maybe it's on a problem at work. Maybe it's something big, a key decision to make for your career path or for your life, for a key relationship in your marriage. Whatever it is, there's those moments where you just feel stuck. And Nick was there. So in our call, I pushed the pause button and I said, Nick, you know what? Let's just walk away from this problem for a moment. And I'd love it if you would share with me just a few things that you're grateful for. Now, he was pretty surprised when I asked him that. It's like, what does that have to do with anything? And I totally get it, why he was confused. But I said, no, entertain me here for a second. Just tell me a few things that you're grateful for. And he started with the easy, low-hanging fruit list. His kids, his health, his marriage, having a job. He listed all the basics. When we got a little deeper and asked him to take it below the surface. And after just 2 or 3 minutes of talking about all of the things going on and that he had in his life that he was grateful for, I hit that play button on our conversation and I said, Nick, I want you to tell me now, what is that inner voice? What is your intuition telling you is the single first and best step, the smallest action you can take right now that will help you unlock this situation and go from stuck to moving again? And he sat there for 5 seconds and a light bulb turned on and Nick had this epiphany moment. He said, you know what? This is what I know I need to do next. And it came like a flash. Now, it's easy to look at that story and say, well, that's pretty lucky. But the truth is, luck had nothing to do with it. And that's what we want to unpack here in gratitude engineering. You see, gratitude is an emotion. It's a state. And gratitude neutralizes the negative and propels the positive. To understand what happened with Nick, we need to understand a really simple and important concept that is called the emotional frequency scale. Now, there is a PDF workbook that goes along with this conversation today, and I would encourage you to jump into the show notes, or if you're watching on YouTube or on the video on our website, to click the link that's here on the page and download this workbook for yourself so that you can fill in the blanks and follow along to really understand at a deep level how these pieces connect and to put an action plan together for yourself to make sure that this is more than just a conversation, but a transformational opportunity to apply it in your own life. So go grab a copy of the workbook. The emotional frequency scale, it's shown here if you're watching on YouTube. If you're just listening, I want you to imagine that emotion is like a frequency. It is energy. Emotion is energy in motion. And so we have what we would consider neutral frequencies, or the middle of the spectrum. We'll call that boredom, something totally neutral. an energy or a vibration that is neutral. It's neither positive nor negative. And on one side, we have the upward spiral of empowered energies and emotions, the things that we want more of in our life. So if you were starting at the neutral point of this scale and spiraling upward, you would see words like contentment, optimism, hopefulness. As we continue to move up, enthusiasm and passion. Even at a higher frequency is this freedom. Who doesn't love feeling freedom in their life? We all want financial freedom, time freedom, environment freedom. And then gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful, positive emotion, and love at the top of that list. Love is the ultimate in empowered, upward spiraling emotion. On the flip side, though, we have a downward spiral, one that leads us towards powerlessness. So again, if you're starting at boredom, something neutral, you would see words like impatience, maybe disappointment, doubt, worry, blame. Then you start to get into much more negative energies like anger, frustration, unworthiness, depression. And at the bottom is fear. You see, at the negative end of the spectrum, fear is the energy that leads us towards losing our power, being powerless. And love is the emotion or the energy that takes us into an empowered state towards the peak emotions that we want in our life. And in the middle is this neutral place of boredom. Well, what's powerful about gratitude is that it's an easy state for us to shift into. And you cannot experience two frequencies of emotion at the same time. Emotion is more than just a thought or mental thing. It's a physical thing. It's experienced in your body. We use that energy and vibration language for a reason, because it's that overlap between the conscious and the subconscious mind. You see, emotion is something that's born in our nervous system through the subconscious mind. And so you cannot express the full emotion of gratitude, which is very positive, at the same time of, let's say, anger. Thinking back to Nick's situation, he was angry about what was going on at work and in that problem. That anger was blocking him from having clarity on what to do next. And as we shifted his energetic state, energy in motion, emotion, when we shifted from anger and frustration, fear, doubt, worry, and moved into gratitude, that shift changes his nervous system. It moves him into a different place in his subconscious mind. And you cannot exist in both places at the same time. I dare you to try. Try to be absolutely grateful and fully express gratitude in your body. That usually comes with a smile, a light in your eye, a sense of relaxation and joy that comes through your body, versus anger, where you might have clenched fists and a red face and you feel that tension in your body. You can't express those at the same time. It is impossible. So moving into gratitude is a simple way for you to neutralize the negative and propel the positive in your life. And the reason that this is so important is because on that upward spiral empowered side of the emotional frequency scale, that's where you are in that parasympathetic nervous system, where you can actually access your best resources. That is why Nick was able to clearly discover what was needed in his career at that moment, where just 5 minutes before he felt completely stuck. It's not that he changed, it's the parts of him that he was able to access that changed. So let's talk about how we can put this into practice. And by the way, there in the workbook on the emotional frequency scale, you're going to see a lot of blank lines. I'd encourage you to jump onto the video version of the podcast or just use your own intuition and ask yourself, what are the words that you would fill in your own experience, moving from boredom toward love or from boredom down toward fear? Think about what words describe the emotions and the experience, the vibration as you move along that scale for yourself. How do we put this into practice? There's 3 easy ways that I'm going to share with you now, but I'll tell you this, there is an unlimited number of ways that you can practice gratitude in your life. But if you don't practice it, if you don't use it as a tool and as a way of being that shapes your life, then you won't get the value from doing it. 3 simple ways. The first, and probably the most common, it's one of my favorites, is a daily gratitude journal. Just start a daily gratitude journal. Grab a blank notebook, grab a piece of paper, and start writing. What are you grateful for? Now, I'm going to give you a tip here in just a moment on how to take this to a deeper level than just sitting with a blank page and writing out bullet points. So stick around just a minute. I'll share that with you. But a daily practice of a gratitude journal, it shows up in hundreds of books that I've read. It is a common practice for a reason. Pay attention. When everybody's doing it, there's probably a good reason why. Think of your daily gratitude journal as conditioning the mind toward gratitude, helping you to stay in that positive emotional state throughout the day so that your default setting is in a more positive place, which gives you that edge in always having access to your best resources in your prefrontal cortex when you need it. Daily gratitude journal, first thing in the morning, last thing before bed. It's a really powerful way for you to condition your nervous system into a positive emotional state and gratitude. The second thing that you can do is go for a gratitude walk. This is one of my favorite techniques to interrupt a negative situation and reset into a positive emotion at the moment you need it. If you will step away from a negative experience, whether that's a big problem at work, a fight with a loved one at home, anything that's going on where you know your self-awareness is pointing out to you that you are not in a good place, you're in a negative vibration, a negative emotional state, push pause for just 2 to 5 minutes. It does not need to be a long time. If you can go for 15 or 20, awesome, but you don't need much time. Go for a walk, and here's what you do. Simply observe everything that you can see on that walk and say thank you for it. Everything that you see, be grateful. So if I was getting up from my desk and taking a 2-minute walk outside, on my way out the door, I might say thank you for my office. Thank you for the whiteboard that I love solving problems at. Thank you for this amazing building, the co-working space where I get to work. Thank you for the roads that I get to drive on and get to work, and that they're maintained by the city and that I don't have to do that. Thank you for the grass. How cut grass reminds me of playing baseball in high school and how beautiful it is to have flowers in this garden here downtown Benton Harbor. Thank you for the trees whose leaves rustle in the summer and provide that beautiful sound and the color of the leaves in the fall. Thank you for the trees. Thank you for the birds. Thank you for the blue sky. Thank you for the people who are living here in my community. Thank you for my car. You get the point. Just look around and be grateful for everything that you see. You don't have to come up with anything. Simply say thank you for what is there. It's a simple and powerful technique that will shift you into the present moment and shift you into a powerful, energetic state of gratitude. Third quick technique, if you're looking to practice gratitude, it's one of my favorites. I call this tossing gratitude grenades. So there in the workbook, you'll see the triangle for 3 easy ways to practice gratitude. The 3 sides to this triangle are the daily gratitude journal, going for a gratitude walk, and there at the bottom of the triangle is tossing a gratitude grenade. What is a gratitude grenade? I call them this because they have an explosive impact in the world when you do it. Instead of keeping gratitude for yourself and just doing it to change your own state, let's send gratitude out and make a difference in someone else's day as well. Grab your phone and send a text, make a phone call, send an email, send a direct message through social media. Even better, get together with someone and do it face to face, or say thank you to someone who serves you, a barista at the coffee shop, your server at lunch or dinner. If somebody at work has helped you out on a project, send a thank you or a note of appreciation to someone else. Just text somebody you love and say, hey, thank you for being so awesome. I love you. Send an email to that colleague. Say, hey, I really appreciate you and how much wisdom and how much expertise you're bringing into this project. It is helping a ton. Thank you. Send out a gratitude grenade. It is fun for you. It will achieve what you need in shifting your energy. And it is a huge blessing in the world around you. And it's honestly has a great positive effect in building relationships that may help you in your career too. That's not the reason we would do it, but wow, it's a great side effect. These 3 techniques are 3 out of hundreds. I encourage you, don't overthink this. Master these simple practices and begin working them into your day-to-day life right now. And here at the Thanksgiving holiday is a perfect time for you to set aside space, time, and energy to work on one or more of these 3 practices. Now, let's circle back really quick to that gratitude journal. I want to share with you, and it's on the final page of the workbook, some of my ninja tactics to taking this deeper, making it more fun, and getting more value from a gratitude journal. You see, most people who I coach, when I ask them to write things down they're grateful for, they tend to have a very narrow lens on what types of items they talk about. There's this sort of big ones, my family, relationships, my job, my health. Those things always come up and they're great. Don't get me wrong. Those are really, really important. But I want to share 5 categories of gratitude that you can focus on in your gratitude journal that will expand your mind and take gratitude even deeper. Number 1 is things, the material stuff. It's there right in front of you. It's something we absolutely want to be grateful for, and it's an easy way to get started. So I encourage you first, write down some of the things you're grateful for, that new car, your house, your apartment, your condo, having some awesome clothes, maybe a favorite watch or pair of shoes. Go ahead and just look around at the amazing things that you get to enjoy in your life and capture your gratitude for those. The second category is experiences. Experiences. Think about what you've been able to do in your life, the places that you've visited, the vacations that you've taken, the memories that you've made with people who you love, the family traditions that you enjoy at the holidays. Maybe there's something special that your grandparents do or used to do if they're no longer with you at Thanksgiving. Maybe there's something else that you're really fond of, you look forward to every year, or something you plan to do in the future. Write down those experiences that you are grateful to have had in your life. And that leads me to number 3. And this is one of these secrets to gratitude that really amplifies the effect. It's to be grateful for your goals. Grateful for your goals. Now, that may seem a little counterintuitive because goals are things that you have not yet accomplished, right? And gratitude is saying thank you for something you already have. So how do these 2 go together? Why would I be grateful for something that I don't have yet? This is one of the most powerful ways to use gratitude. Because in your subconscious mind, in your emotional energy, there is no space and time. It's all in the present moment and it's all here now. So when you focus on gratitude for a goal, gratitude is a vibration. It's an energy of receivership. It's built around what you have already received into your life and expressing back out into the world an energy we call gratitude and thanksgiving. Well, when you include goals in that list, you are conditioning your mind to be ready to receive the things that you have not yet received. And here's why that's so important. I've coached hundreds of engineering leaders, and one of the biggest barriers to you getting what you want is you're not ready to receive it. You may be self-sabotaging because you feel unworthy of it. You may not believe that it's possible for you to receive it. You may have someone else in your life who told you who knows what when you were little that is convincing you that you're not ready to have what you say you want. And so you're holding yourself back. There are so many ways that we block ourselves. Maybe we're a victim to fear and a mentality that is being a victim of other people and circumstances. We need to get out of that. Whatever it is, if you're not ready to receive your goal, it will not come to you. And when you include your goals in your gratitude journal, you're conditioning your subconscious mind to be ready to receive. And having that fertile soil, that readiness and that willingness to receive your goals is a really powerful way for you to accelerate hitting them. This is ninja. This is next level. Include your goals in your gratitude journal, and I promise you, you're going to see an acceleration in bringing those into your life. Category number 4 is failures. Nobody likes to be thankful and grateful for their failures. But here's the truth. We learn more from failure than from success. And I may not love failure, but I love learning. I love growth. I love challenges and overcoming those challenges. Therefore, I am grateful for my failures. Write those failures down, celebrate them, and be grateful for them. Not only is that going to deepen your energy of gratitude, but it's also going to help you reframe those failures into lessons and into growth, and even further accelerate what you're taking away from every experience of life. Be thankful for your failures. The 5th and final category to be grateful for in your journal, it's one of my favorites, and it's people. Be grateful for the people in your life, because relationships, I'm telling you, at the end of the day, that is what it's all about. We want to be in great, loving relationships. So write those people down, and don't be generic. Don't just write family. Don't just write your coworkers. Write down the specific names of the people you're grateful to have in your life. And then here's another little ninja technique to take that gratitude deeper. Don't just write their names. Write why you're grateful for them. You see, sometimes in a gratitude journal, you can only write your kids' names down so many times before it starts to feel kind of redundant or silly. And that's a lot of times why we fatigue out of doing the practice, because it starts to become routine and we don't actually get connected to the energy, the emotion of it. And if you're just doing the exercise, but there's no emotional shift, then we're not getting the value. Hear me on that. The whole reason to practice gratitude is not for the intellect. It's not for the thinking. It's for the emotion. It's to shift our nervous system from one way of being into another so we can be at our best. So if you're doing a gratitude journal and you're not getting deep enough to feel the emotion of gratitude, then it's not going to be effective. So on the people side, rather than just writing the name every day over and over and over, write the name and write a reason why. I'm grateful for my sister, Lindsay, because she's always the first person I can call when anything is bothering me. I'm so grateful for my sister, Lindsay, because she always makes me laugh. I'm so grateful for my sister, Lindsay, because she is an incredible role model of how to be an amazing wife and mom. Start being more specific on the people side, and you're going to see that gratitude go even deeper. Now, let's just come back really quick and talk about Nick. Why was shifting into gratitude so important for Nick? It wasn't just because it felt good. It was because that change in energy, that emotional state, gave him access to the prefrontal cortex. It got him into the parasympathetic nervous system. It allowed him to think clearly instead of being in a fight or flight mode, driven by that anger, that fear, and that frustration that puts you in tunnel vision, narrows the mind, and focuses on survival. You see, that is not a place where you're going to have access to your absolute best thinking. And if you want to be the best engineering leader you can be, if you want to be the best family member you can be, and love your life while building a career you love, then we need to learn how to apply this. So, get into gratitude. Enjoy the spirit of the season. Happy Thanksgiving, happy engineer. But don't just do it now. This is a year-round, always on priority for you. And I highly encourage you to take these 3 practices, pick at least one to start on right away, and use this as a tool in your tool belt. Anytime you're in that downward spiral of the emotional frequency scale, to shift yourself back up, to neutralize the negative and propel the positive, use gratitude. Reminder to grab the workbook if you want these slides and you want to take notes on everything we just talked about. It makes a huge difference in how much value you'll take away from having invested time in this training today. So grab the workbook. There's a link there in the show notes to download a copy. And I would be extremely grateful if this was valuable for you. Then share it with 1 or 2 colleagues or people you know who you think would get value and benefit from this conversation. Share the link, share the PDF with them, and help us get the word out about how to use these things to create meaningful value, big shifts, big change towards the career of our dreams. I'm telling you, yeah, master's degree, a PhD, these things are all super important and they're great, but it's these little distinctions that not only accelerate our work success, but make the journey and our lifestyle along the way 10 times better. Thank you for helping us get the word out. Share this with 1 or 2 friends. Grab the PDF. Have a fantastic Thanksgiving. And as always, get out of your comfort zone. Get out there. Crush comfort. Create courage. And let's do this.